everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today I'm going to discuss the preview and prediction of the Showtime pay-per-view card taking place on Saturday, June 26th. Headlined by Gervonta Tank Davis as he battles Mario Barrios at 140 pounds for the Junior Welterweight Championship. The secondary title that Barrios holds. Now we're going to get into the undercard real quick. The first two fights, nothing big to talk about. I mean, interesting, but not, huge fights. J-Rock Williams was supposed to fight on the undercard, returning to action after a year and a half and after losing his titles to Jason Rosario last January. Excuse me. But he got injured in training, so he will not be fighting after all. You're going to have former world title challenger or interim world title challenger Carlos Adames is taking on Alexis Salazar and what is either a junior middleweight or middleweight contest. Adames is actually a pretty solid fighter. He lost a close decision to Patrick Teixeira in November of 2019 that led to Teixeira being the WBO champion. But he has not, I think he's fought one time since then. He's legit. He just got to climb himself back into the picture at 154. I think he's going to beat this Salazar and get a decision win or a late stoppage and, start back up, getting back in title contention. The next fight is actually some kind of a WBA eliminator at 140 pounds. It's going to see Argenis Mendez, former world champion at 130, is taking on Batir Akhmedov, whose lone defeat, he's 8-1 with 7 knockouts. His lone defeat was to Mario Barrios by a decision a couple years back. I think Akhmedov is going to beat Mendez in this one. Probably stop him in the middle to later rounds, maybe a decision. Don't count Argenis Mendez out, though, even though he's an older fighter and a veteran. He gave Richardson Hitchens everything he could handle in his last fight, losing a close split decision in that one. So he's the real deal. He can still get, throw his hands and get dirty in there, and it should be a decent fight right there. But the co-feature is going to be a good one. It's a battle at 154, pretty much a final eliminator as it sees undefeated former world title challenger and #1 ranked contender Erickson Lubin as he battles former unified world champion Jason Rosario. Now Lubin's coming off of a convincing decision win over Terrell Gaucher, but it was kind of just like a workmanlike decision. I really wasn't that impressed with Lubin that night as he takes on Rosario, who pretty much got his ass whipped against Jermell Charlo in his last fight. He got stopped on a body punch, pretty much beat down in a unification bout last year, but for the most part, Rosario wasn't seen as, having a great shot at upsetting Charlo. He upset Julian J-Rock Williams when nobody thought he would in January of last year. But Rosario has a chance. He's coming in the underdog. He has a chance to prove that he's better than that when he takes on the very good, very talented Erickson Lubin. If Rosario can knock off Lubin and stop him, he's right back in the title hunt and right back at the top of the division. But I personally think Erickson Lubin's going to break down Rosario and stop him in the late rounds. I think he needs to look impressive. It is pay-per-view. He's in the co-feature. And I think he's going to go out there and put on a good show. And I got him winning the fight by a stoppage win in the middle of the later rounds and should cement himself for the mandatory #1 contendership at the WBC title, which is going to be decided between Charlo and Brian Castano in July. Now the main event, Gervonta Tank Davis tries to win a championship in a third weight class when he takes on undefeated Mario Barrios. This is going to be a tall order for Tank Davis. I hope people aren't looking at this fight like he's just going to roll over Barrios, because Barrios is a very good. He's not very good, but he's a very big and a talented fighter. He can take shots, and this is by far the biggest fighter that Davis has ever fought. And he's going to have his hands full, in my opinion, for a while. But I think Davis, if he boxes, I think he will, and kind of sticks and moves, gets a feeling for the weight at 140. I think he's going to break down Barrios, and I think he has a chance of stopping him in the late rounds, possibly a convincing decision. But I do think it's going to be a more competitive fight than people are giving it credit for. Barrios is not just a show pony. He's not just out there to come out and get his ass whipped and hand it over to Gervonta Davis. It's going to be a fight. So it should be good. I'm picking Davis, but I really do think Barrios can pull off the upset because he's the naturally bigger man, and it should be a pretty good fight. Now, personally, I'm not going to be ordering this pay-per-view. I don't think it's worth the $75, but I am looking forward to seeing what goes down on the card. And like I said, I'm picking Davis. I'm picking Erickson Lubin. I'm picking Akhmedov, and I'm going with Carlos Adames to win in the opener. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. That's the predictions. True Boxing. You've been here with the truth.